Post and ghost. We need to talk about this one. Heard it on the Joe Rogan podcast a million times, and several others in the idea of it. And I don't know where it officially came from, but it's definitely a great idea for most people. But we need to discuss how it involves and how it can be used in business. Because one of the better things that you can do is have a conversation with your customers. The goal, obviously, is to shorten the distance from you and your customers and be able to explain what you offer, product, services, everything in between, and make sure people understand what your offerings are. Now, open forum are wonderful places to explain respectfully what's going on, tell people more information about your product. What I've always recommended, and we've been doing lately with basically every one of our businesses that we're involved with right now, is make a pretty substantial YouTube library that are focused on whether it's objections or questions, FAQs. Go ahead and do blogs that update and give people general questions and answer general questions. Now, not everybody's going to look at a blog. Not everybody's going to access your video library. But if one or two people do, and it gets you one or two sales, it may or may not have been worth it, right? Now, the question of production value and how much time and money and effort you should put into it is, in my mind, dictated by whatever market and industry you're in. What are your competitors doing? What are folks doing around you? What looks, doable or not doable to you? And then also, what do you really need to do? What do you really need to accomplish? Again, the goal should be to shorten the distance between you and your customers, and or your products and your customers. So if you can do that in a 15-second clip showing a door opening up, or a slide bar is putting in and closing said door, or a product test, a quick test drive of a vehicle, or hey, in wellness space, it's tough. You can't really necessarily go public or push product explanations, and that's one of the big issues just with everything going on right now, is the fact that your doctor can't openly go out there and tell people what that specific doctor thinks about specific things. And then what data are they using, right? Just in general. I'm not going down that road right now. But it is very tough to have transparency in the wellness space. I can tell you that right now, even when you want to. And you're doing everything as right as you possibly can, or keeping everything as updated as you possibly can, especially in a fluid industry, because different solutions are constantly out there, different approaches. Are you trying to fix a symptom, or are you trying to fix a root cause? And a lot of times that's completely different practices. If you go into the urgent care, are they trying to fix the root cause of something, or are they throwing everything under the kitchen sink at it to fix your current issues? But you may or may not be back in there for a similar thing or whatever. Is the practice focused on a band-aid, or are they practiced on root causes? Sorry, I won't go too far into that because that's a whole nother can of worms. But posting and ghosting, getting back to that, sometimes you just can't elaborate. Okay? But really, it is wonderful and a great opportunity in a discussion forum and in a consumer forum to be able to explain yourself, or go ahead and throw a link to a video that shows the answer to the question, and being fully transparent about it at every step, because other customers may see the discussion. Other customers may be interested in those solutions. They may go on YouTube. You may want to put them on your website. You may want to specifically, discuss this, that, or the other, right? But when is it not good? When should you post and ghost? And when should you just kind of let something into the ether? The answer isn't simple. It's never going to be. It's your choice as the business owner or the business representative to throw your 2 cents in there. Is it worth 2 cents, or is it worth a lot more to you to lose or polarize or anything in between. My recommendation will always be to be respectful, to err on the side of maturity. And nowadays, it's a lot easier to do that. If you need to clean a comment up, you're fiery, you're passionate about something. This happens to me regularly, and you'll see it in this podcast. I'll get passionate about something, and Rome is burning, right? But today, it's very easy to throw, your comment or your thing into ChatGPT and simply give it the prompt of, hey, can you clean this up and make it professional? Or can you clean this up and make sure I'm not attacking the person or the specific situation, but I'm going ahead and answering the question in the most respectful way possible. And you could throw whatever if you want to vent to ChatGPT, you actually can. And it's built generally to be a little bit nicer. It's actually specifically built for, positive discourse with you. So it's very easy to clean up a comment. Very easy to even build a clean script to be able to keep you on the right side of wherever the side you want to be. Do not forget that. Those specific examples are always going to be there. You can always clean something up. You can always make it look a little bit nicer. You can always err on the side of nice or kind or whatever, but also get your point across. Choosing positivity, in my mind as a business, will always be the best move, especially if you're welcoming discourse, and you probably should. That's the way you can move, your customer base or people to you, from just being courteous, nice, mature in your responses, and people understand that, hey, I'm just out here to help, even if I'm, constantly updating something or could be wrong, could be right. It doesn't quite necessarily matter. For your mental health, if you're a person that absolutely just cannot handle any negativity or anything, you don't have to stay off the internet. Again, we started this by talking about posting and ghosting. Post and ghost. Get out of it. Because you've put your information out there. You've hopefully put a general piece of copy into the ether. If you need to do that and that's all you need to do, get away. Turn it off. Do whatever you can. There's a lot of good research and good thought behind having your phone off, or going ahead and turning off to society for a day a week or whatever. I can promise you, in the marketing space, it's very hard to do, because as a good steward, you're trying to constantly monitor, constantly see what's going on with the companies you're working with. But the reality of the situation is you can't always do that, but you can try. Especially if it's going to affect your mental health, affect how you're going to be at home, with your family, or even just going home and pounding a pillow. It doesn't make much sense if that's going to bother you or affect you that far. Just post and ghost. Get out. I hope this helps somebody. I think this is a pretty general statement, and one thing I'll just leave it with is bring positivity in the world. It's very, very, very easy to be negative. It's very, very, very easy to troll. It's very, very, very easy to be a keyboard pirate, or whatever you want to call it. It's a lot harder to be respectful in everything you do. It's a lot harder to show maturity when other people aren't showing maturity to you. But I promise you, at the end of the day, if you can accomplish it, you will be better off for it. Have a wonderful week.